All right, what do we need to know about the equinox today? I don't know about you guys, but I was totally exhausted. So, if you're exhausted, if you are emotional, if you feel like you don't know what you're supposed to be doing today, the equinox is probably the reason. It's a liminal space of creation. So, we just came out of this 2 week solar eclipse portal right into the equinox on the day that we switch into Libra season. So we're really working on balancing our lives today. What does that mean? Alchemizing what lies we have told ourselves about what it means and what it takes to be happy. So turning any beliefs, which are just thoughts that you keep thinking, upside down if they're negatively affecting your ability to create the life that you want. So, checking in with yourself anywhere that you've been telling yourself that things are really difficult, it's very hard to create the life that you want. You have to work hard for it. People are never going to be what you want them to be. Anything that you're telling yourself, any little storyline that you're telling yourself about creating your preferred level of happiness and how difficult that might be. We're going to alchemize, or we're in a window where you can alchemize that energy today. And how do we do that? We do that by flipping the script, literally just catching yourself in a belief where you're thinking that something is difficult for X, Y, or Z reason and turning it on its head and seeing if you can convince yourself to choose the opposite storyline and what that storyline is. And you can just start reprogramming yourself by telling yourself the opposite of whatever that is. You can take that a step further today by writing down the old beliefs and flipping the script into the new beliefs. That's a really good practice on a day like today where there's portal energy. Because the more we can shift that energy today, the faster we're going to pull in the realities that we're actually wanting. So we are creating for ourselves this tower energy of breakthroughs, this possibility of letting go of the past, possibility of letting go of traumas, of just old negative energy that we've been carrying around, and really allowing that transmutation to propel us into the future that we've been asking for and into receiving the things that we've been asking to receive. So opening yourself up to possibility today, tonight, and the next couple of days is a really good way to propel that energy forward. And you can just do that by noticing the old stories and allowing yourself to rewrite them. And you can do that by, like, if you don't know what inner child work is at this point, you should look it up. Inner child work is a really, really powerful way to reprogram your past. Anything that we do in our now moment to reprogram our past is going to affect our future. So inner child work, you just go back into a trauma moment and you change the story from what did happen to what you prefer to have happened, and you allow yourself to feel the emotions of the preferred reality. And you can do that for inner child work, but you can also do that for future work. So calling on the future reality of what it is that you want, and instead of sitting where you're at in the beliefs that things are difficult or you can't have them, you sit where you're at, and if you have to, totally pretend that whatever it is that you want is very easily achievable. The more that you can feel the potential of it being easily achievable, the more you're going to propel that energy into your life. You're not trying to reach out to go and get the reality that you want. You're pulling the reality to you in your here and now moment, and you do that by activating the frequencies of whatever it is that you want. And we activate those frequencies by simply feeling them in this now moment. So if you're activating the frequency of partnership, healthy partnership, and balanced partnership, and functional love, then you can activate that by holding the frequency of anything that you have felt healthy love for. And that can be a dog, it can be a plant, it can be your cat. It doesn't have to be people, because people come with a lot of other memory codes embedded in them. So it can be your comforter, it can be your bathtub. Like it can literally be anything that you have a positive, healthy relationship with, that you can hold the feeling of having in your life now, while then, so that creates your reception vector. When you're remembering a memory of having a love that is peaceful, healthy, and unconditional, you're activating that in your reception vector, which becomes your receiving mode. So you're activating the receiving mode by going into the memory of having something, and then that opens you up for anything that matches the frequency of having healthy, positive love. And then you can project out the desire of that love into your reality. And then, because those two vectors, your reception vector and your projection vector, that's your brain coherence and your heart coherence, are in alignment with each other, they're in coherence with each other, they collapse the field of infinite possibility. And so you're flashing out the infinite possibility of whatever it is that you prefer, as many times as you can hold those two frequencies together at the same time. And the best way to do that is, or a more effective way to do that, is by going into the negative belief first, witnessing it. You're not trying to push down the negative belief. You're not telling it that it's not true. You're just witnessing it, seeing it for what it is, thanking it for being in your life and trying to protect you for however long, all these years that you've had this belief, and then showing it what truth is possible now. So you're mirroring the negative belief with the positive memory of love, of healthy love and reciprocity. And if you hold those at the same time, the healthy love and reciprocity will collapse the belief that love is difficult, just because the frequency will interfere with it. It will collapse that incoherent waveform in your field. And then you can project out healthy love without the interference of negative thinking, basically, and belief systems.